project. And for that, our next speaker is Hyun Miller, and she is the media agency Good Apple's VP of Media. And she's sharing about they've been have some recent tests, and it's helped them to identify the most effective ways to balance and optimize your social media, video, and CTV spend. So welcome, Hyun.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. You're all good, and I love your background. That's really. Where are you coming out to us from?
I am in Union Square right now. I'm actually in the office. I wanted to make sure that we have a good Wi-Fi for this
Union
talk.
Square in New York.
Union Square in New York, yes.
Oh, very cool. All right. Well, with that, I will let you take it and talk all about the CT and social TV.
All right, let me just. All right, can everyone see my screen? Okay.
Looks good.
Okay, awesome. All right. Thank you for the introduction, Lisa. Again, hello, everyone. My name is Hyun Miller, and I am the head of media at Good Apple, and my favorite apple is Fuji. I just went apple picking this past weekend with my family. We picked up a bunch of Fuji, so thought it was appropriate on brand to mention. Anyway, Good Apple is a full-service media agency specializing in the retail and healthcare verticals. We are headquartered here in the New York area, but right now our team is literally everywhere, as I'm sure your teams are everywhere too. Thank you to MediaPost for having me here via Zoom. I am excited to talk to you all about CTV and social video. As I'm sure that most of you are already doing at Good Apple, we've been doing a lot of testing and experimenting in the video space in the last couple of years. So I'll be sharing some of our best practices and learning so we could all become better at this to keep up with our customers' constantly changing behavior. All right, so first things first. Let's talk about the overall digital video landscape. Just so we're speaking the same language, which I'm sure we are as we come to the summit. I've seen many different variations and versions of this video categorization, but this is a recent example of how we've been talking about it and how we've been categorizing it internally at Good Apple and for our clients. The way that we are going to lay it out here is by access point. So how are we getting the inventory sources? So, from left to right, we have devices, which means that we are buying directly from a CTV device like a Roku or a smart TV like Samsung or LG. Next is apps, which means that we're buying directly from a streaming service like a Hulu or a Crackle or a YouTube. DSPs allow us to buy inventory across a broader source. An example of that is Simplify or VideoAmp. We could also go direct to a publisher like Scary Mommy or BuzzFeed. And then lastly, of course, social apps, right? Instagram, TikTok, Snap. So it's important to understand that, though, that these categories aren't mutually exclusive, though, because, for example, like YouTube can be categorized as a TV app or a publisher or social, right? So we also have to think about, what device type the inventory is being accessed from. Recently, the MRC issued guidelines, right, on what CTV and OTT mean. OTT is really the overarching umbrella term for video content delivered across desktop, mobile, and other devices that includes both CTV and non-CTV. CTV means that you're watching digital video content on your TV, right, and non-CTV means you're watching on your mobile or desktop devices. All right, so let's talk more about CTV specifically for a bit. Okay, so one of the burning questions that we are asking ourselves in our virtual office hallways as we consider how we activate CTV for our clients is, does how you watch matter, right? Does it matter if I'm reaching you as a food show lover on Hulu or if I'm targeting you across a curated group of video apps because you watch food programming? So one of our retail clients, we designed a test to start to unpack this burning question. We activated CTV across a direct free streaming service and on a video DSP using brand safe, curated premium inventory, of course. And this was the important part. We activated similar targeting across both. We utilized demo, behavior, and CTV to display retargeting across both inventory sources. And we ran both tests in one DMA across 12 weeks. For this test, you could see the results right here. The DSP CTV campaign drove greater reach as a result of being able to better control for frequency. And our business impact KPI of store visitation was much more favorable versus the direct CTV buy. With the DSP, which our programmatic team is managing, they had greater transparency into the bundle IDs and the app reports, allowing them to make more frequent optimizations, which was, I think, a big part of the success. So here's the thing, though. Here's, I think, like the real ultimate takeaway. The burning question. Like, of course, we found out that, of course, how people watch absolutely does matter, and what we really need to prioritize is establishing a strong audience first targeting foundation, and then use inventory as an ongoing optimization level to drive performance, right? So, of course, curating direct inventory partnerships and relationships is paramount to, be brand safe and avoid fraud. But as we shift to a multi-inventory DSP approach to CTV buying, we can learn and optimize based on how our customers are actually watching CTV in real time without the heavy campaign setup lift needed to pause and launch individual partners. So there's naturally other benefits to buying direct, right? And the ability to use their first party data, or if we want to align with key tentpole events, but we also find great value in activating through a DSP. If you think about it, essentially the shift from direct to DSP has helped us make CTV inventory source, like how people watch, into a lever for dynamic optimization instead of a static one. So this is very reminiscent of the same evolution that display banner inventory went through, right? With the original rise of programmatic, many, many moons ago. And we're starting to see that happen in the CTV space as well. All right, so I know it's still early in the day, but we'd love to talk to you about wine, which I think is actually super appropriate because I did see a wine tasting event happening at some point today or tomorrow. All right. I had a lot of fun coming up with this metaphor to talk about our work with 19 Crimes to test and learn and evolve our CTV and social video mix throughout multiple product launches. So without further ado, let's swirl, sip, and pour. All right. So Good Apple has been working on the Treasury Wine Estates business for several years. Treasury Wine Estates is one of the largest wine companies in the world. And one of their most popular brands is the infamous 19 Crimes label. In 2020, 19 Crimes partnered with the entertainment icon Snoop Dogg to create a bold red wine called Kylie Red. And with this new wine, they wanted to reach new audiences. We already had a built-in audience of 19 Crimes customer loyalists, but with this new wine collaboration, the brand wanted to take the opportunity to expand the wine funnel with Snoop's social influence. I think that, Snoop is one of the original influencers, right? Customers who haven't tried wine before, fans of hip hop, fans of Snoop. So, these customers were younger, millennials, had higher net worth, and were culturally diverse. So, to launch this new campaign, the team created a surround sound strategy to reach our targets throughout their day when they would be the most receptive to the message in the media. We created a day in the life to map out how our customers interact with media. In addition to our core, search and banner campaigns, to deliver, really high impact and engagement, we developed multimedia strategies inclusive of video, out of home, audio, and custom content. So we're only going to go deeper into the video components of our plan for the purposes of this conference, but felt it was important to illustrate how our video channels were part of an overarching multimedia strategy. So CTV and social video were core to our plan. To really grab our customers' attentions, it was like a 1-2 punch, right? So use CTV to create that high impact awareness, and then use social video to get that higher engagement and interactivity with fun, immersive experiences. So let's go deeper into this and show you how we brought that strategy to life and literally brought Snoop Dogg to life. All right, so we utilize CTV as a top of funnel, of course, awareness tactic to reach current 19 Crimes customers and to reach new 19 Crimes customers. CTV as a channel was definitely one to prioritize for us, as CTV penetration among millennials is super high at 80%. There's about 59 million millennials using CTV, and that's the highest volume among all generations. That's basically the same volume of millennials on Facebook, to put it in context. So from a CTV perspective, we dominated key markets and served 15s and 30s across select inventory. So like we talked about before, based on our success and best practice of utilizing both a whitelist DSP and direct CTV inventory, we activated on both, but applied consistent targeting across both inventory sources. So to drive that deeper brand exploration and experience, we activated social videos in really cool interactive ways that were endemic to that specific platform. To explain what I mean by that, these are just some of the key executions. We ran a mix of cinemagraphs like you see here on this slide, along with more traditional videos on Facebook and Instagram. We were actually a beta partner for IGTV paid ads. So the cinemagraphs were of Snoop toasting with a glass of his wine. You can see that here. We also, ran 50s and 30s that were the same spots we ran on CTV, but optimized for social viewing. For Twitter, we thought about how people would want to interact with us on Twitter. So we incorporated polling into our video ads that asked which 19 Crimes wine you were drinking over the holidays. So not only was this a great way to drive engagement, it was also a way to learn something about the audience, a market research opportunity. And then lastly, on Snap, we created the 19 Crimes first Snap AR lens that put your face on the Cali Red wine label, which you could share around, of course. So, pretty engaging stuff all around. Having said that, as the innovator brand that 19 Crimes is, they took it a step further. So to further these interactive video experiences with Snoop and bring it to the owned media experience, 19 Crimes created a living label using AR for the actual wine bottle, which I'm about to show you. So the Living Label app has been downloaded 6 million times, lots of great snackable content. It's a huge differentiator for the brand in a highly competitive market. This experience is also accessible via the web, so it's frictionless. So I'm gonna play the video, hopefully it works. Hopefully I enabled the sound correctly.
Glasses up! Let's make a toast to success and nothing less. Yes, sir. They call me the Dog Father, king of the West Coast, and I was born to defy society. I believed in myself when the world tried to train a dog not to. Gotta thank myself for that. Already did, but I'ma do it again.
Age gating.
Well, hip-hop is what makes the world go round.
All right, so holistically, the brand fully committed to video, right? The video was incorporated across the customer journey, from awareness to engagement to purchase and enjoyment, to really bring the iconic Snoop Dogg to life for our 19 Crimes Cali Red customer. All right, so here's what we learned from our media campaign. Overall, across CTV inventory as well as OLV inventory actually, customers preferred the shorter 15 versus the 30s. We found that 15s drove higher engagement rates and video completion rates. On OLV inventory, we were actually able to see that most viewers who watched the 15 made it through the point where Snoop toasts the wine glass, which appeared at the 9-second mark. After that, we saw viewers start to drop off. So really, I'm telling you that because it was really helpful for us to understand like how quickly we have to get our core product message into future spots. Interestingly though, we did also run the 15s and 30s as well as some fun, quick Snoop Dogg cinematographs on Facebook and Instagram. Which do you think did better, the spots or the video cinematographs? Well, this was a bit surprising to us. The lifestyle videos generated higher engagement rates versus the cinematographs. So maybe the quick cinematographs were too quick and not enough information. Good takeaway for next time. We did see our bet on IGTV prove out as we saw customers engage at double the normal engagement rate. Although I think that there will be a change to IGTV in the future. It'll, I think, transition to Instagram videos. And then lastly, our Snap AR lens, where you could put your face on the 19 Crimes Cali Red wine label, was super popular. The video lens drove double the expected reach and was shared out over 3 million times. So getting lots of great free earned media. Overall, from a high-level perspective, here's what we learned. CTV was highly effective at driving brand awareness. We were able to drive cost-efficient, completed video views in a premium living room environment by balancing both direct and DSP CTV buys. And then our multi-platform social video strategy was successful because we created platform-specific video creative to capitalize on the native ways people use these platforms: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snap. And while doing that, we were able to learn a lot about how our customers wanted to interact with us by platform. All right, I think at this point in the presentation, you're probably wondering, was this campaign really a success, right? Yes, our campaign generated great media KPIs. We like to call them leading KPIs like reach and engagement, but did all this translate into 19 Crimes Cali Red sales? Yes, a resounding yes. Cali Red delivered 2x their projected yearly sales in the first 2 months, with a 46% repeat purchase rate, and more than a quarter of their customers were new to wine. So, great stats all around. But folks, there is more to this story. The Snoop Dogg story is far from over. Snoop Dogg and 19 Crimes changed the game yet again by launching a rosé. I mean, who would have thought, right? Snoop Dogg and rosé. So let's pour into this. Yep, I said it. Okay, so how do we optimize our current menu of video options, right? Well, first off, based on our success with Cali Red and overall, rising video consumption, we dramatically increased our video investment. With the additional investment, we were able to expand into additional CTV partners, test into new social platforms, and actually launched on traditional linear TV in a very specific way. And for each of the social platforms, we really optimize our creative based on the Cali Red learnings, which I'm going to show you. So for example, for the Snap lens, we increase the interactive elements so you can pick what kind of cup you use for your rosé as you took a video of yourself. So, I think that if we take a look at the lens that we did for Cali Red versus Cali Rosé, the Cali Rosé is it was much more optimized for user behavior. It was more interactive. You got to choose more elements. So it was a lot more fun. On Instagram and Facebook, we learned about how we learned that the lifestyle videos were actually drove more engagement versus the quick cinematograph. So we prioritized those. And we also added Reddit to the mix. So we've seen changes in media consumption as a result of the pandemic, right? Reddit itself has seen significant growth in its daily user base. It's grown 44% year over year. There's about 19 million millennials on Reddit. And we were able to activate on their platform in a brand safe, relevant way. So, it really is a journey for us to continue using data and trends to drive our video media choices and to continue to be agile so we can test and learn and incrementally optimize our video plan so it gets a little bit better over time. And it's also to continue, challenging ourselves to find new ways to surprise and delight our customers because, I think that, we can all use some joy and fun in our lives right now, right? So the 19 Crimes Snoot franchise is a partnership that is going to continue to grow. So please be on the lookout for us in the future. All right, let's wind it down. I could not help myself with this last pun. Okay, so just to kind of wrap up here, in summary, firstly, for us, it's very helpful to define and categorize the landscape for yourself and for your clients, right? In the way that you want to understand it. So doing so will help you understand how you could actually activate an audience-first approach in your media plan. Secondly, create your own tests and learns to test CTV activation by going direct versus DSP. So in thinking about taking, our original learning agenda from before to the next level for the future, maybe a better, more fairer test. A fairer test would be to group multiple direct campaigns versus the DSP activation, right? Thirdly, the 1-2 punch framework is something that we've used to drive product launches. So, activating high impact CTV for awareness and then using social video to drive that deeper interactivity and brand exploration. Fourth, invest in creating really engaging social videos. Social videos that are endemic to those platforms because that's how customers want to interact. And then lastly, video opportunities, social and CTV opportunities are only going to expand and become even more interesting, right? So, I think it's important to be nimble and to test and learn often so you're continuously refining your video mix as your customer preferences change and platform opportunities evolve. And that is it for me.
Thank you, Hyun. Getting applause from Montauk.
I